Alright, I've had some people pop into my kitty sitting streams and ask how I do so much damage in Guild Raid. Basically, we need Krizalid. I'm sure a lot of you have been trying to get him. I know the timing on this is not that great because his banner is about to expire in a few hours, but this is going to be assuming that you already have him, and if you already have him, you probably likely have almost all the things included, so let's just go ahead and get started. I've got to do one more run to get the level 8 box. I think this was a good time to show it. So the first thing you want is, besides Krizalid of course, you want the Nest team relation, because that will give you 8% crit damage. If you have all 4 boss syndrome characters, then I think that bonus is better. I was not able to get Rugal, and he doesn't have his imprint stones anyway, so I felt like it was kind of pointless to go for him. I just got all the cards instead, so when they inevitably come back, I'll get him next. But it should be pretty easy to build a Nest team. You have characters like Ignis, you have K-Dash, you have Nameless. You've got a large amount of characters you can choose for the Nest bonus, so shouldn't be too hard to get that. And the other strikers are irrelevant. You're not going to be using the other 2 characters at all. What you want is Geese as your striker, because he gives you some pretty good buffs. Attack plus 15% if HP is 70% or more. Realistically, you're not going to be using that much because this boss does his bursts. His anger management classes have not been working, so you're not going to be above 70% HP. It's far more likely that towards the end you're going to be pretty much dead, so you won't be using that. What you're mostly going to be using is the one that gives you the CDR at the bottom by 1 second. What that allows you to do is it lets you spam his moves on Awakening. Krizalid, for whatever reason, is a grab character who's incredibly broken. Normally, if you ever played any action MMOs, you know that grab characters are generally useless. Here, that's not the case. He's actually very good. So, you want to make sure you have that. Make sure you have cards on Geese as well, because that will give you a lot of bonus stats. As you can see here, I'm getting 6,000 attack, 20,000 HP, and then about 1,300 defense. So in terms of what you put for your build, you want his 3-bar. I actually got kind of bad luck. I got 3 of his 3-bar card. So what you're mostly going to be using that for is shield breaking. Shield breaking is very important. You need to do it at a time when he's not going to enrage or he's not going to turn invincible. If you can land it at that time, what that will mean is that you'll essentially take off like half of his shield or more. This character is so busted, there are certain times if you get good RNG where you can break his shield twice in a row, and that will let you do like probably at least 150 million damage. Now for this you want Akane for your set cards. This gives you 30% chance to deal extra damage equal to 150% of attack upon landing an active. And you're going to be spamming moves a ton, so that damage definitely adds up. A lot of people have said this is the best build for Krizalid. Krizalid is basically a guild raid and element dungeon character. He could plow through all that stuff really fast. And then you just want your basic Maxima CDR cards. It can be tempting to take other stuff, like as you can see here, I have a lot of the best cards in the game. I even got 3 of its option cards, so you think you would want to use those on paper, but the reality is you want the CDR, because in Awakening mode, you're going to be doing, with my build at least, I do about 120 to 150 million, depending on how things go and the crits and stuff, per Awakening. So you're going to be Awakening about 3 times per fight if you get lucky, so that's going to be about 400 million on average. And that's basically it. Whatever's on the other characters is irrelevant. You're not going to be using them at all. You just want to make sure if you're doing expert mode, what you want to do is you want to clear it on 1 key. Like I got 457 million today, so you want to use that 1 key to just beat expert And then there's no way that you could do this on one key unless they start doing some serious power creep. So you're going to want to save 2 keys for this. So ideally at like reset or like right now, you want to use 1 on Expert and then 2 on Lunatic. So for the first run on Lunatic, you want about 400 million. I would definitely reset for that if you can. And then I only need 310 million for the best quality box. So let's get into it. You're pretty much always going to get 300 million unless he gives you really terrible RNG. It can be frustrating to reset, but resetting is better than not getting 2 boxes a day. These are some of the best free rewards in the game. Well, I guess technically free, because if you're doing this, you're probably spending a decent amount on the game as it is, but I guess you could say it pays for itself. There's a double shield break. So you don't want to use his card super when he's stemmed. You want to use that because you get some extra damage, and he'll also get up for a bit, so you can use that. You get a little extra damage in. Always let him kneel down like that. When he turns invincible, even your 3-bar super won't hurt him. You're going to want to wait until right after he does it. And when he's about to get out of his hangover, you do that. It took out about 40% of his shield right there. This is actually a pretty bad run. He's not cooperating. See, if you get lucky, sometimes even if you have low health, you can keep him stunned. Good example there. Of course, he's not going to give me good luck when I'm trying to make a guide. He's already taken off a lot of my health. Still got it. I was going to reset, but we'll take that. So there's a lot of RNG with this. There's a deceptive amount of RNG. How much he bursts. How much he bursts for one thing. How much the bursts do. How often he turns invincible. You have some control over it. Like when after he bursts and after he does that thing where he crouches and turns invincible, he can't do it again for a while. So you want to make sure you time your 3-bar supers after that, because that super is ridiculous for shield breaking. It will take off maybe like 50% of his shield, depending on how things go. There you go. That's 3 keys for 2 boxes. About the best you can get. I hope this helps you guys. I know the timing on this is not the best, but it took me a while to get him to this point. I wasn't really able to make a guide before this, but if you have Geese and you have Krizalid, you probably have everything else needed in this video to do the guild raid pretty much every day. I know a lot of people complain that Krizalid made the guild raid too easy, but I always found this mode not fun before because of how much RNG there is. He can actually burst out of supers, meaning that if your super is not uninterruptible, then he can hit you out of the animation, and there's only a couple of those in the game, so it greatly limits what characters you can use, or you need to have just at least 1 or 2 to actually deal damage to him. But with Krizalid, you pretty much just ignore all that. The mode is actually fun. Sometimes power creep is fun, folks. Anyway, that's it. I hope this helps you guys. I know I've had a lot of people coming into my stream asking about it, so I just figured I'd make this guide for today's video. Thanks for watching.